What's up, everybody? We are in Trussville, Alabama with the one and only Matthew Gregory. How's it going today, Matthew?
Good, Brian. How are you, man?
I'm good. We just rode around a little bit today.
Had a good day?
Had a really good day. It was always cool to kind of see the projects that you're up to. This isn't the first time we've ridden around together.
Yes.
I'd say a dozen
Brings
or
back
more.
old memories, right?
Back in, I think it was 2017 where I did that first ride along. And
yeah.
Did a mini part series, but I just want to kind of, I've asked you, you've been interviewed so many times. I've asked you so many questions throughout the years. Just want to kind of get almost like a kind of check back in with you. It seems as if after spending the day with you, really it's just kind of, here we are in 2025. It's kind of business as usual for you, it seems like.
Yeah. Stay pretty busy with the house flip still. We have kind of gone into, other areas of real estate with the rentals and the self-storage and all that. But still, I was born to flip houses and I really still enjoy that.
Yeah. And we've talked about this many times before, but you started flipping houses when in 1998, 99?
98, it's my first flip, yep.
98, you did your first flip. You're going on 27 years. I mean,
it's
like,
man.
It's
God,
more than half your life. Old.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
What do you kind of like, when you sit here and look back over the course of 27 years flipping houses, is there something that obviously you still love it, but do you almost feel like, people are coming to you for advice all the time,
right?
You get interviewed a lot, you're speaking on panels, you get asked to speak, all these things. Is any of that get old for you? Do you almost feel like the elder statesman?
No, in a way. Again, I'm still hungry. I haven't arrived where I want to be. I know for me, it's given me so many other opportunities to help others and meet people and buy a lot of real estate. So without the house flipping part of it, I don't know if I could have bought, all the other properties I bought. So that kind of is what fuels everything else in my life. So it works for me. And the people who kind of, the ones who are so critical of it really haven't kind of landed where I'm at yet. You know what I'm saying? So
what do you mean? The ones that are critical of house flipping? You
hear a lot of people talk about, well, I'm just on this hamster wheel and I'm just working my life away, and the true wealth is always built through passive income properties. And my point is I would have never gotten to a point where I'm at buying all the passive income properties without the house flipping, right? So it's what fueled everything else in my life.
So you're almost like responding to people who've been critical of you?
Well, not in an ugly way, like, but kind of, I get that sometimes, and it kind of surprises me that people have that mindset.
From people who probably have had experience nowhere near the success that you have. Right?
In a way, yes. Is this bad?
No, it just seems silly. It seems silly that, someone we both know and respect very well once told me many years ago, you can't have cash flow until you have a cash cow.
Okay.
And
house flipping can create a cash cow if you do it right.
I think just observing you for the last, more than 10 years, there's no doubt about it. You have a cash cow in the real estate flipping. And so
it works well. And
I know for so long, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know you had rentals a long time ago. And then kind of coming out of the recession, you were kind of maybe forced to hang on to a few properties. So
That's
you turned
right.
those into
Yes,
rentals.
Absolutely.
And you didn't have maybe the greatest experience with them.
Yeah, I think the areas for me, I probably chose the wrong areas, and I was so busy chasing that rent every month that it became such a stressful business. So I did kind of change that up, and I went into the better areas, which you also get more appreciation in the better areas, and all that's worked well for me.
Well, the point I was trying to make was you really didn't focus on buying rental property or passive income, so to speak, until way later. It really wasn't even until maybe 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Where you started
5 or 6 years ago.
You bought some.
When I started, though, I really started buying it up. Yeah.
So what made you decide to do that?
Probably because it was kind of time, I think, for me. It was the right opportunities kind of appeared, right? And I was like, I like that deal. So I try to not get forced into buying it. I want to do it at the right time, and part of that is the right opportunity.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then also something that's interesting that you've done the last 5 or so years is brought in some partners, and you've kind of built self-storage units.
Yes, which has worked really well.
Yeah.
And we have built one in Leeds and one in Aniana, and those are renting well, and we're 95% occupied in one, and which is where you want to be to start raising rents more and more. And then Aniana is also doing well. So that's a business I'm not really hands-on as much as I am my other ones, but yeah, it's great. I want to do more and more of those.
Well, I say all that to say that it's kind of taking you a little bit of time, almost like methodically, to you had the cash cow, so to speak. You've had the flipping business for a long time, and it's like you mentioned a second ago. Now it's time. The right opportunities presented themselves. Is this just kind of like the maturity of your growth, maybe as a real estate investor, your maturity as a getting I don't know, you're older, you're my age, but
right,
a little bit older.
Yeah, I think so. I think just as you get older and your kids grow older, and you're not as busy being a dad as you once were, you have time to kind of do other things. And for me, my hobby is real estate, so I stay pretty busy with it. I love it.
And that's, like kind of another interesting point is now, your kids, we're sitting here in your home, and I've known you for long enough. Your kids have babysat my kids, right?
Right.
So like I've known you long enough that it's like you now kind of have an empty house, so to speak, and
empty nesting, man, it's real.
So, but you've been doing real estate for so long, and I see you taking more trips than I've ever seen you take before. What's kind of like what's the next 5 to 10 years look like for you?
I think I'm moving into other areas of real estate also, that some warehouse space, and buying other type properties, and I'll always probably keep the house flipping going, because again, it generates income to where I don't have to worry about that aspect of it. Mm-hmm. So I can take the money off of my passive incomes and pay off all the debt with it. So I really think that hopefully in the next 5 to 6 years I'll be completely out of debt, and then and I do have quite a bit of passive income coming in. So
when you say out of debt, you're talking about the debt that's on some of the assets.
Yeah, of course, yes,
just paying off the assets.
Right. Yes, I mean you don't want to just talk about your debt and your net worth and all this, but yeah, we have a plan, and it's working pretty well so far. Yeah, I'm grateful for it, man.
I don't think anyone's arguing with that. Yeah. What motivates you, like even now? Like,
so I'm gonna tell you where I'm headed towards is probably being more involved at Lovelady as much as I can. I'm on the board there. After Mom's passing, I'd love to be more involved there, helping, and it's a great ministry. So I'm ministry minded already, and I love helping, and it's such a great cause that I would like to do more and more of that. Mm-hmm. And so that keeps me, very excited. Even more than real estate, that excites me more than anything right now, I think.
Talk about, because I don't know if everyone kind of knows, your mom, who she was, what she did.
So Mom started a ministry 25 years ago, Lovelady, which is her maiden name, and it's a we bought an old hospital, and we have 550 women who live there with 150 kids, and it's women transitioning out of prison, out of addiction, out of abuse, really a place for women that need help. And it's a great place, man. So mom and my twin sister have been running that for 20 years or more now. And I just really love helping there. So
what about that excites you? What about
well,
that?
I think because when you go there, you feel the difference in what I love watching moms and kids reunite. It's exciting. Watching people, just lives being changed, is incredible. So that's pretty exciting stuff, Brian.
It is.
You've been there, right?
So when was this? 2018. You were so excited you wanted to take me there. You wanted me to meet your mom. I had never met your mom before.
Okay.
And we had a speaker coming into town that was speaking at one of our groups, and we were riding around looking at some of your properties, and you were like, let's go. I want to show you all this.
Okay.
And I've known of Lovelady Center for many years because I've been going to Church of the Highlands for so long, and I know they give. They had, at least at that point, had given to that ministry. So I'd known of it and heard of it. I had no idea how involved you were. I had no idea that was your mother.
Right.
And I got to meet your mom. She gave me a tour of the place.
Yeah.
And even after that, she came and spoke briefly at one of our meetings. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, I do.
Where we
awesome.
bought some books and gave away some of her books, and it's really just an incredible thing. Just talking about kids. Because I have kids. My situation and just children in general. I've been in youth ministry and coached youth sports for 22 years now. So I've always been close to kids, and just that whole thing just excites me. So, and just to know that you were that involved in it is pretty cool.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I really do love it.
And then just the legacy that your mother has.
I know, man. I'm grateful for that. I really am.
I mean, there was at her where I got to go see the service. When she passed, and there was like an Alabama congresswoman came up to make this like her day, like a day for your mother. And so it's just like the whole thing was just really awesome.
Dude?
So that's going to be, you're going to be more focused on that now that the kids are out.
I would love to. Yes. That is the plan.
Because we always sit here and think like, speaking of legacy, like I'm sure you've given it some thought. Like, what's your legacy going to be? What do you want it to be?
Brian, I don't know, dude. I mean, really, I'm not as worried about my legacy as probably as just helping carry my mom's on more.
Sure.
That's probably what I'm more interested in. And why would I reinvent the wheel when there's such a strong legacy already in my family?
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful to do that.
Yeah.